Great to be with you on this Monday. I'm sorry we're coming to you a little later than normal today. I was in Lima, Peru, and I was supposed to get back on Saturday evening, and on Friday there was a crash. An airplane crashed into a fire truck as it was taking off, and a big fire occurred. Thankfully all the people on the plane were saved, but several firefighters died, and it ruined the runway, so I lost 2 days there, and so we're catching up here today, and I'm so thankful to have this opportunity to be with you. It's always stirring to get out into other places, such as down there in Lima, and see what God is doing, and to know there are faithful servants all around the world. And though it's very disappointing for us right now in our country, especially what's happened in the last couple of weeks, God is still on the throne and he is working. And with that in mind, I'd like to look at John chapter 16. Here the Lord is on the way to the Garden of Gethsemane after they'd had the meeting in the upper room and celebration of the Passover. And the disciples knew that there was great turmoil, and they knew that Jesus was talking about leaving them, and they were deeply troubled. And so he's giving them great truth during this time just before the cross. And we read in chapter 16 and verse 22, "And ye now therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man taketh from you." Of course, we know that they did see him again after his resurrection from the dead. All hope was lost to them. They were hiding in the upper room, and they couldn't even believe it when they saw him walk through that door, and there he was. And as it began to sink in on them, and as he met with them several more times and commissioned them to give the gospel around the world, as that sank in on them, there was a deep and abiding joy. But then the great event was on Pentecost in Acts chapter 2, and the Holy Spirit came, and the joy of the Lord was their strength as the Spirit of God indwelt them and made Christ personally real to them. And so it doesn't matter what turmoil there is in the world. There was certainly terrible turmoil at that time. Injustice going on with the Roman Empire, injustice with the Sanhedrin, and yet Jesus said, "No man can take my joy from you." And friends, when it's God's joy, circumstances cannot take it away. And when we don't have joy, when we're really thrown by what we're seeing today, then that's a good test as to whether or not we're truly walking in a full walk with him, that we're yielded to him, that the Spirit of God is in control, or we're just going through the motions of the Christian life. So just remember, when you see Jesus, and we all can, moment by moment, because we're indwelt just like the disciples were going to be, moment by moment, we should have that joy. Do you have it today? Well, you can by just looking to the Lord. Take your eyes off circumstances and be encouraged with the joy of the Lord.